We all know the current situation on insecurities in Nigeria in relation to Trump's interest in wanting to step in and all of that stuff. And as much as a lot of people see it as um, an opportunity for us to get rid of insecurity issues in the country, they are not paying attention to the possible deception that is currently going on and all of the propaganda being pushed and the lies that are being peddled on this particular stuff, right? This video is about the Mars in Sagittarius transit. Basically, why this video is important is because of the thing that Trump said. You understand me? So, if the energy for the year is Sagittarius, and when I made the two videos, that was how very important this energy was, because it's a year's energy. So I don't make one video and then that's it. I needed to make two to lay emphasis on what we are going to be experiencing, and also the outbreak of epidemics in certain parts of the country. And I was speaking to a client yesterday. She said there was an outbreak of diarrhea. Children, a lot of children, within surrounding there, within our neighborhood there, we were all having diarrhea at that point. I'm like, okay. But I already talked about this because Jupiter is in the Sagittarius. This Sagittarius timeline we are in is in the sixth house of the Nigerian chart. That is the house of epidemic, illness, disease, and all of that stuff, right? And Jupiter points to outbreaks. You understand my point? Any kind of outbreak points to outbreaks of any kind. And Jupiter also rules Pisces. Pisces is, pandemics. Epidemics are just a small fraction. It could just be here and it won't be there. But when you say on a global scale, that's Pisces. And if you understand the astrology of how these rulerships work, you know that in this year, the Sagittarius is active, Pisces is also active. Yes. Which means these two energy, we are looking to, how these two are going to be playing out. You understand this very year. Why? Because the energy for the year is Sagittarius, and they are both ruled by Jupiter. So Sagittarius and Pisces both ruled by Jupiter. So we are seeing these two playing out. But primarily the energy for the year is Sagittarius. So pandemics, I can't really say for now, but epidemics like in villages around the country are going to be springing up, which is correct because currently Jupiter is in Cancer, which points to villages and countries and countrysides. In this part of the world we call it villages. Yeah, so communities, societies, right? That's what Cancer is. You see, so we are going to be seeing the outbreak of these things in those areas. Now back to Sagittarius, where Mars being in Sagittarius, right? We are looking into possible foreign military actions or foreign military interventions. You understand, in this part of the country, as Jupiter is currently in Cancer, which is country. You understand, so they are coming. I've said it before. I even made a video. I said on the 4th of November this month, on the 4th of this month, which is November, right? Mars is going to be moving into Sagittarius. That's its indication of foreign military invasion. They are coming. There's nothing anybody wants to say. Currently, the narrative is changing. No. They are just trying to get your mind off whatever is happening right now. Because you have to understand, you don't need to fall for the antics. You people fail to read the symbols of what the Most High is giving to you. What do I mean by that? The Sun is currently in Scorpio. Scorpio is a sign of manipulations. You don't just fall for all of that. Mars rules Scorpio. Mars is the military. Scorpio points to underworld activities. So the whole thing now is shifting from being a thing of media sensation and all of that stuff, to now being a more clandestine activity that the operation is going to be carried on a very subtle level. And even if they are still going to strike and it's going to go public, obviously it's still going to go public. Commerce is still in Sagittarius. As long as this is here, it's still going to go public. You see this energy? We might think it's a joke. When the sun moves, which is not very far, 22nd is not far. 22nd is when the sun moves into 0 degrees of it might be even be 21, because the last time I tracked where anyways, let's leave it at 22nd. You understand? Because the equinoxes shift every 72 years, 1 degree every 72 years. So in years 72 years, in multiples of 72 years going forward, right? 0 degrees of Aries might no longer be 21st of March. It might shift to 20th of March. Yes. And then after that, it's going to shift to 19th of March. It slips backward. You understand what I'm saying here? So these things work to eventually change. So there's a time will come where 0 degrees of Aries is no even longer going to be in the month of March. It's just what it is. But it's always going to be 0 degrees in Aries. Just that it will no longer be March. So these are the things that we need to, have in mind. Because as it shifts in, it's giving indications to a lot of things. It's giving indications to a lot of things. The sun will always be exalted in Aries. It won't change. It won't change. So, but Aries is no longer going to begin in 21st of March. That date is going to change over time, over years. This is what you need to understand about astrology. It's not, it's geometry, it's symbolisms. It's a lot. It's not just a thing of identity that you just want to identify with and all that stuff. No, it's deeper than that. So it's not a craft, or it's not a thing of interest that you just want to take on surface and you just chill and think that's it. No, that's not it. So with Mars being in Sagittarius, you are guaranteed that this is going to happen. All that military strikes from foreign, that's the energy for the year, I've already said it, is invasion. That's Sagittarius. It's invasion, it's colonialism, it's imperialism. You understand me? It's all of that foreign interest. And when I made the video, I said, I posted it on Instagram. I'm like, the funny thing, the beauty of this Trump's announcement here with Mars moving into Sagittarius here now is that America isn't the only country interested in Nigeria. Isn't the only foreign power interested in Nigeria. And boom, China started to make their own comments. So we have to understand this is the year, the timeline of foreign powers being interested in Nigeria. If US strikes, other country might want to reply them because they too have interest to protest. So US won't just come and strike and but trust Trump. Trump is going to want to test the waters. He's always like that. So best believe these activities are still going to play. The manner of how it's going to play, I don't know, but it's definitely, the promise is strong. And remember, Mars is still the energy for the year. Yes, we're in a Mars year. Mars is still the energy for the year. But for Nigeria now, our energy, Mars is still prominent globally for everybody, including human beings and all. So it's still global, it's still general, it's still playing out, right? So that is why we are even seeing this year the whole what is it called? The whole the current underage child molestation stuff going public. Chiron is currently in Aries. You understand me? Chiron is currently in Aries. So all of that death, these things have been happening for long. It just so happened that it came out this year. Mars is active. All of that sex abuse, crime related crime related sexual activity or sexual related crime activities, however you put it, right? It's all Mars. Abuse, crime, sex, all that stuff. Sexual abuse is sexual crimes is Mars. Mars is prominent for the year, and Nigeria has it in Cancer. Which people have mostly been falling victims? Female children. Are you paying attention? Female children mostly. But then you also hear the culprits that are also involved in enabling such acts. Women, which is still Cancer. Are you following? So with Chiron being in Aries here, it's giving indications to all of these things. And currently, the ruler of Aries, which is Mars, just moved into the energy for where Nigeria is. Chiron is trauma. It's trauma, guys. Don't trust me. Emotional trauma or physical, any kind of wound. Trauma that you can think of, psychological trauma, psychological wound. That's what Chiron is. If these guys strike, we keep thinking it's a joke. They are just trying to tone down the energy so that we'll just be like, oh, these guys are not striking again. And then we look at you and then, because we are looking at this whole, we are falling for all of the manipulation. They are trying to move our attention away from what is happening because the sun is currently in Scorpio, in the decan of Pisces. Pisces is deception. Don't throw that away. Pisces is deception. It's no longer within 10 degrees of Scorpio. Today's date is 9th. Yes, because I was working on my daily prediction, so I know what yesterday was. My sun was active yesterday. Where I saw the sun rules my third house. You understand? Where I saw an old time, and my sun is in Pisces, which is things of the past, things of old, no things that have been left behind, things of the past, Mister. And I saw this old time classmate there in university. I was in a vehicle just moving to a place that was not far, which is third house stuff, short trips, right? Yeah. So I was just seeing this dude, he was coming by and like I know this guy now. This guy in my mind, I was like, I called his name in my mind. I just didn't want to call out for him to see me because he wouldn't even be expecting to see me. In the condition I saw him, he would be surprised. If I had called out his name, he would even try to want to coordinate himself so that it would not look like I caught him off guard or I caught him on fresh. You understand? So I'm like, I know this guy. I knew, yes, I was having a son. My son was very active that yesterday. So, and I knew I was going to be having it on the 8th, based on my calculations, right? So I know today is night. You see, so today is night. Then from the 23rd of October was when, so we are already past. The sun is it's still in Scorpio, but it's in the decan of Pisces, in the sign of Scorpio. If you understand how to work on that, you understand what I mean, which is deception. Deception. It's just plain simple. Deception, distraction, trying to turn your attention to somewhere else where a lot of secret, when a lot of serious activities are actually going on behind the scene. This is what we are currently witnessing. You understand? So don't fall for other stuff. You see, US officials are advising Trump that the stuff in Nigeria, Trump is still going to strike. This is what this promise is pointing to. The energy for the year is still pointing. I'm not wishing on it though, like I'm insisting because I want my predictions to work. No, far from it. I'm just telling you guys not to fall for any of that stuff they are doing because they are going to strike when your mind is no longer there. You understand? So by the time they start striking, the original energy you started with to pay attention to the outcome of that stuff has already died down because you have been sedated with manipulations and deceptions. So the interest for you to start criticizing, you come online, start punching your keypad and condemning and no. What then will now happen? You will not turn it into content creation because yes, Nigeria has Cancer in the rising sign. This is our natural inclination to things. We are too emotional about things. Very emotional about things, yes. You understand? And our value system that's Leo in the second house of Nigeria. Our value system, Leo is courage, it's content creation. It's content creation. Our value system is based on all that stuff that is fun and entertaining. That's just what it is. That's Leo. Leo's entertainment is fun. It's content creation. That's our value system. The chart describes us perfectly. We are too emotional. Very, very emotional. You understand my point? And most times when we out of our emotions, we act impulsively, which is what Mars and Cancer means for us. This chart is very accurate in describing us as a people in this country. This chart is very accurate. You see. So after being sedated, you have don't fall for all that stuff. We are in the year of propaganda. I've told you guys this, you need to pay attention. But the beauty of it is when I posted on Facebook, I said Jupiter, the great revealer, is if you listen to the energy this year, is going to reveal to you things this year. The energy of this year is going to reveal to you things in this country that if you're paying attention, you will not believe you could find such like that. Just pay attention. Pay attention. And with Mars moving into Sagittarius, the other day, was it 2 days ago, they said there was a pastor of Khan, one, top leader of Khan, or more like someone high up there in Khan, Khan, Christian Association of Nigeria. It was scared. I think they say it was beheaded. That's Mars. Mars is dead. It's beheading. Yes. was beheaded. I already predicted for the year before Mars even moving to Sagittarius, because I know Jupiter, the ruler of Sagittarius, is in Cancer. And don't lose sight of the fact that Cancer is the 8th place of Sagittarius. So Jupiter is in its 8th place of death. So religious heads, spiritual heads, most of them are going to be dying. I already said that. But that's not all. The 8th house is the 8th place of a thing, is manipulation. So by default, even without the sun being in Scorpio, by default, the nature of how whatever is happening here is just like a guitar. As you're pulling the string here, this is responding, because this is where the ruler currently is. As this guy is active, this is where the ruler currently is, which is in his 8th place. Emotional manipulation. Cancer is emotion. The 8th place with Jupiter currently is manipulation. That's what we are saying. Through what? Propaganda. That's what Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet of propaganda. You don't know. People often think it's a sign of good luck or good fortune. Yes. What if I told you it's the planet of greed? Yes. You don't know. What do you think imperialists do? They just enter and grab and grab. They don't know when to stop. They grab and grab and grab at the detriment of the people. Even when the people don't want to even fight them for the thing they are taking. They just want to kill you for the fun. They just kill you. They just want to keep grabbing. After they keep grabbing is done, they proceed to the next place. It just doesn't end. That's greed. That's greed. It just doesn't end. They just keep going. You get my point now? So this manipulation is very strong, very, very, very strong. Currently going on now. You guys are thinking US officials. That is the media. Jupiter is the media. You guys not paying attention. It's advertising. It's broadcasting. All of that deception, all that propaganda shit is being pushed out. You people are paying attention to it. Wait, let the sun move into Sagittarius. You will tell me if this invasion is going to be possible or not. I don't think you guys are paying attention. I don't think you guys are paying attention. This is Mars in Sagittarius. So the terrorists might even likely behead some people too. More pastors too. The one that just maybe could just be a branch pastor somewhere that didn't matter, but that stuff Sagittarius is described, religious heads or stuff like that, religious support, churches too, because Mars in Sagittarius, that's religious institutes. Sagittarius points to churches. Yes, that is the building itself, not the congregation of people. In the congregation of people that makes up the church, that's Pisces. But either way, both of them are ruled by Sagittarius. So let me not stress you guys, right? So we are likely going to see burning of churches again, like it used to happen before, where they burn a church and they say anybody that comes out will be shot and killed. Similar stuff like that. The news might not even carry it, or the news might, because it's Sagittarius, so it blows things out of proportion. It reveals things. It's the great revealer, right? And that's where Jupiter is in the Nigerian chart, so it's still active. With Mars transiting through here, because it's the one moving, this place where Jupiter is active. The guys, the invasion is inevitable. It's just inevitable. It's inevitable, guys. It's inevitable, which makes this particular stuff strong, because where Jupiter currently is in the Nigerian chart is where Nigeria has Mars. So as Jupiter is moving here, it's pulling the strings, and Mars is responding. And as Mars is moving here, it's pulling the strings, and Jupiter is responding. That's a mutual reception. That's a very, very, very strong mutual reception, trust me. The energy is very strong at this point. It's very, very heightened and very strong. So emphasis on Chiron being on Aries, right? Because we are talking about Mars. So Mars rules Aries as much as it rules Scorpio, right? So though we are in Scorpio season. So for those who we are curious to know about what Scorpio season really means, this is the time when the veil between the living and the dead has been lifted. So the dead now come through. They are amongst us now, yes. This is the Scorpio. This is the season of the dead. The ancestors, all of them, they are with us now. Yes, they are currently with us now. In case you are wondering why you started to see them in your dreams this period as you were sleeping, this is the time where they are coming through. That is why you see them. You understand my point? Yes. So if you notice anybody within your extended family that dies this period, the ancestors have come to take that person. I guarantee you. Although there are other periods to where they take them, but this is one of those periods. Like this is the universal period where death and dead people come through from that part of the realm. We are talking about the invisible realm, the realm of the dead. Yes, that's when they come through. This is what Oyibo people do as Halloween. You understand? Paying homage to the dead and all that stuff. But in our own African settings, we do it as a masquerade culture or the masquerade festival. Because the masquerade you see is symbolic. That's you're seeing is the ancestors putting on a physical form that you can see. Because when they come in as spirits that they are, because they no longer reside within the flesh, within the vessel like us, you can't see them. So they come in that masquerade form. That is when we organize a masquerade festival to bring them in. So your spirits enter into those things and begin to display. You understand my point? And when they come and they start displaying, what they do? They dance. What is the sign of dance? Dance is Pisces. Pisces is spirits. That's why dancing is a spiritual thing. You people don't know. You people don't know. Jupiter rules Pisces. Jupiter is happiness, it's euphoria, it's joy. Happiness, joy is Leo. Joy is Leo, right? So so yeah, but Leo and Sagittarius, these are signs of common affinity, if you understand what I mean. I'm not going to dwell on that, but yes, when you feel joy, you feel happy, you feel that euphoria, what happens? You dance, right? You dance. Most dance are done with the feet. That is Pisces. You understand what I'm saying? So right, so still on the topic for the day, Mars in Sagittarius. So we're likely going to see none of those things. Even attacks on schools. Visual Sagittarius is attacks on schools. You are going to be seeing them. Attacks on churches. You are going to be seeing them. All of that invasion, taking up children. Taking up children. Is that correct? Taking up children. Anyway, school, abductions in schools and all of that stuff. But that involves children or not. Churches too, kidnappings and all of that stuff. The invasiveness of terrorist activities. Terrorist activities now is now going to go out of proportion. It's now going to blow up. Are you guys not clocking it? Around the time Trump said he was going to come into Nigeria and bomb terrorists, they were not scared. They even killed a pastor. Why are they not scared? You people are not thinking. It's like Russia's coming to say that they want to, because Russia will mean business. Those guys will start thinking of ways to escape. But American, Trump said he's coming. These guys, they are not running. They stayed and they even kill a pastor. And you people are not putting it together and trying to understand what is happening. And this guy is not scared of them. No, they are not scared. They are working for him. Anyways, let me not say a point. Let me not say anything. Okay, why basically I say that is you guys need to understand the way indirect rule system, or governance by proxy and neo-colonialism actually works. This is all these things I point to you here is all Sagittarius. It's all Sagittarius, and we're talking about a shadow government. It's a sign of Scorpio. Mars is active for the year. Don't forget, Mars rules Scorpio. That's where the sun currently is. So you're seeing the motion of Mars throughout this year since it has been active. From Mars in Cancer, it moved. It did retrograde. It went into Leo, then did the retrograde as of last year. It stayed about 5 months in retrograde. The whole country was boiling. The whole country was boiling. Tankers were falling. Women were being killed. Women that were caught in acts of infidelity were being butchered and all that stuff, guys. I don't want to go into all those things. Then it moved into Virgo. Then it moved into Libra. Then it moved into Scorpio. Now it's in Sagittarius. Mars is still active for the year. Next year, the sun is going to be active, which is a very, very good energy for content creators. You have no excuse not to blow up next year. I guarantee if you're a content creator. Not me, I'm doing YouTube because I want to teach astrology. I'm not a content creator. If you look at all my content, I don't try to edit and make flashy stuff. I give information and I go. You understand me? But next year is the moon energy. Sorry, no moon, sun. Right? So Content creators should get ready. That is their year. Actors, actresses, they should also get ready too. All people in the entertainment industries, they should also get ready. Or if you look at where Leo is, which is the ruler of where Leo is, which is the domicile of the sun, is where Uranus is. Uranus is popularity. It tells you a lot of people are going to become very popular next year. You understand my point? A lot of people are going to become very popular next year, to be honest. And with the sun in Nigerian chart being in Libra, so more like content creators that are into husband and wife kind of content, stuff like that. Yes, maybe relationship, boyfriend and girlfriend content, yes, stuff. These people are really going to blow up next year. They are going to become a big public sensation. Their popularity, are going to attain a popularity next year. But let's leave that for next year. Before the 1st of January, I will make the video citing the energy for the year, right? I'm talking about every other thing that we need to look into. So Mars in Sagittarius, like I said, attacks on schools, attacks on churches, right? So these are the things, burnings of these things. You see, it's really crazy, and also military activities, foreign military activities, and all that stuff. It's really going to get very serious. You understand me? And we are talking about the pandemic, the spread, not pandemic, epidemic, but they are not the same. Yes, just so you know, they are not the same. So the possible spread of an epidemic, with Mars being there now, Mars is sexual transmitted infection. So everybody should just take it down, to tone it down. Though Mars being in Sagittarius, which is a fire sign, Mars is a fire planet. It means that Mars is in a place where it's very strong right now. Very strong right now. Although its exaltation is in Capricorn, you're expecting it to go hyper. So a lot of guys are likely going to become fathers here, whether they plan for it or not. Usually a lot of guys are going to become fathers. So we are looking forward to the next phase of baby mamas, new set of baby mamas coming up in maybe in less than 2 months. Yeah. So so with Mars being in Sagittarius here is a fire energy, fire planet. So we're expecting it to really pop very, very, very big. You see, so the spread of all of that stuff, Mars is infections, is bruises, cuts, all that stuff, right? So I just hope this doesn't result into a plane crash. I hope this doesn't involve to a plane crash anywhere at all in the world. This energy isn't just Nigerian energy. I'm just reading for Nigeria based on the epidemic breakout and stuff like that. But globally, this energy shouldn't be. Although this is likely, except the other countries where, with Jupiter being currently in what is it called? Maybe there are other countries who have Uranus in Cancer. That's a planet of accidents. If they have Uranus in Cancer, or they have the 11th house ruler there, then it's going to be. Talking about the 11th house ruler, Venus is currently in Scorpio. So by the time, it moves faster than the sun. So by the time it will have, the sun. Oh yes, Venus is currently in Scorpio. By the time I've moved into, which is the 11th house of Nigeria, people need to be careful. Especially December period. I likely see plane crashes too. That's another thing. That's another thing too. So these are the things that we need to, watch. We need to be on the lookout for. You see, which is very, 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 very likely possible because Nigeria has Venus in Scorpio. And the ruler of Scorpio, which is Pluto, even Mars rules Scorpio. In case I say Mars, Pluto, don't get you confused. They are both rulers of Scorpio. It's currently in Aquarius. Pluto is currently in Aquarius, which is a sign of accident. And with Venus being there now, it could be any kind of accident. It could be plane crash, which is still the sign of Aquarius. Crashes, plane crash, accident, and vehicle-related accidents. It's that stuff. I should do a video for Venus in Scorpio, but Venus doesn't stay that long in a sign, so I don't really focus on it, because before you will see the fullness of all of those things play out, and the news cannot really mostly keep up with it. You will just, the energy moves by, except maybe it's in retrograde there, then I can begin to talk on it. But let's see how it goes. Right? Let's see how it goes. So yeah, that's Mars in Sagittarius. If there's anything more in any video that I'll make, I'll add, I'll make some emphasis, I'll bring out some informations on this particular Mars in Sagittarius video, because there's a lot. There's a lot. I'm just trying to not filter. You see, I've already run to say this is why I'm working for a head. So, and you know this is YouTube. So when I settle down and filter through some of the things that you see, I will do a video. Maybe not necessarily Mars in Sagittarius, but a video for something else which I'll chip in. This could also be another predictive video too. Maybe just an overall prediction of whatever it is that's happening, or perhaps just dedicated video talking about the whole Trump saga, right? Yes, I will now emphasize on this Mars in Sagittarius energy. You understand my point? Yeah. So yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys in the next video.